I went through, welcome to part two. I went through a phase where I was searching and I was looking. I never meant to leave. I never had any plans of eventually leaving the marriage. However, I did feel like something was missing. I felt like I was longing for something. At the back of my mind, deep down in my soul, I felt like there's a deeper love, a different kind of love out there for me. It doesn't feel the same way as the one that I have with my ex husband. It doesn't feel like the ordinary. It was like this feeling of there's something out there, but I just don't know what it is. However, it was just a thought, no evidence to support what I'm feeling, right? But the whole point of the relationship was I needed someone because I was lost. I was alone in this world and I needed a partner. I needed support. I needed someone who could listen to me, support me, and be my friend, be my support structure, be my mom and dad who I didn't have. Someone who understood that I'm not perfect and I have my flaws. At the same time, someone I can trust, someone I can also be that same kind of person for. It's me and you against the world type of relationship, and that's exactly what happened when we started our relationship with my ex-husband. One of the things that broke us was the cheating. Secondly, was the fact that he started ignoring me. He even said it himself that he should have done things differently because he was pushing me away, and he did it even more because when I was seeking the attention from him, instead of trying to find out what my problem was, and even when I did say that I have this issue, he wasn't there. And I remember one time I once asked him, I'm like, we need mommy and daddy time out. Like we used to, mommy and daddy time. We just book a hotel and it's just the two of us and we do whatever we want. Like we used to because we lived for a good 5 years. It was just the two of us. So there was, you know, a bit of exploration in the bedroom and all the other stuff that we used to do together. But now that we are mom and dad, there's a restrictions. There's a nanny in the house. There's this, there's that. So we need to be tactical about how we do things, and that becomes very boring, especially for someone like myself who is very, out there. I love to explore. I love to learn. I like trying new things, and it just became monogamous at some point, and became repetitive and boring and not so exciting. And one thing he said to me when I said that, he said to me, we are parents now. We don't do such things. Man, I felt myself disappearing. I'm like, is this what it is? Is this all of it? Like, I'm going to be doing this for the rest of my life where my needs are not going to be met and I'm going to be ignored and I'm not going to be listened to because I'm a mother and he's a father now. Now we need to act differently, behave differently. Now we don't have dreams, we don't have aspirations, we don't have desires, we don't have that part of me has to somehow take it back seat or lock it inside a cage and leave it there. That sunk. That really, really started hitting very hard, including all the other stuff. Was like it felt like I was there, but I was disappearing somehow. Hence why they're seeking attention outside of the marriage. Still, it was so dry, like nothing came out. And at some point, I think our relationship became too toxic that we were living in the same house and we were not intimate anymore. We lived in a house together for about 2.5 years. We were just roommates basically. And at some point we tried to become intimate. It was just there was no feelings, there was no emotions. It was just dry. And he said to me, "It's like if you're going to do it this way, we rather stop because it's not the way we used to. It's not the way I'm used to you receiving me. It didn't feel the same way. It was just emotionless. And that was the last time we ever tried until such a time that I eventually chose myself. I'm like, I'm not doing this anymore. Um, so one day while he went to work, I packed my things. I didn't make an announcement. I didn't fight. I just knew I needed to try again and do things differently. I had outgrown the situation. I had outgrown the relationship. I had outgrown the things that we used to do because it was just no purpose, no fun, it was just waking up and doing things, not because you wanted to, but because you had to. And that was not fun anymore. That was just a boring life that I didn't ever imagine in my life, that I never thought that I could live for the rest of my life. At the time, I was 32 years old. Imagine by the time I'm getting to 50 and I'm doing this every day. I could not imagine myself doing that. So I packed my things up while he went to work. I looked for myself for an apartment and I moved out without a reason, an explanation. He didn't do anything to me. There was no tipping point. That morning we woke up, we had a conversation, and he said he was going to work as normal. And I just knew that I was out. And that's exactly how I left my marriage. I was running a small business, I was unemployed, he was working, but I didn't have a plan. I didn't know how I was going to make it to the other side. I managed to pay the rent and deposit somehow, but I didn't know how I was going to pay the rent. I didn't know how I was going to survive, but I did. And it broke him. He's still mad at me. It's 3 years later. He's still mad at me. He still resents me. He's still angry at me and disappointed that I left because he thought I could have done things differently. I could have spoken to him. I did. I tried, but he didn't never listen. That's the problem with him. He doesn't really listen. And maybe I should have tried harder. Maybe I should have waited. Maybe I should have tried a different kind of way to communicate. I don't know. But I'm taking full responsibility that I also went into a relationship with the wrong kind of mindset because I was broken. I had my own traumas. And seeing that he also has his traumas. Even today, I can tell you that there's days that, because I know him and I understand his strengths and weaknesses, there's certain days where I use his weaknesses against him because I know him. Similarly with him, he would try, but now it doesn't work because I've healed. That's the difference between me and him, that I'm healed from my traumas and I understand my shortcomings and I'm working on them. However, with him, he's still in the same place. He's the same person that I left years ago. Hasn't evolved, still the same, in the same kind of position. But I'm working towards healing my inner child. I'm working towards building a relationship with myself, healing those parts of me that were lonely, that were broken, that were left behind, that were unattended, that were not taken care of by my parents. I do that for myself now. And in a nutshell, this is what happened with my marriage. This is why I left my marriage. I realized that I had traumas, I had insecurities, I had my own shortcomings. Maybe he also took advantage of my shortcomings too, my insecurities. And maybe it was what it was supposed to be. It was a lesson. We were supposed to have these beautiful children together. We were supposed to grow. We were supposed to learn. Maybe it was a relationship of a catalyst kind of energy where we supposed to learn and understand ourselves, grow, because not everyone is supposed to be in your life forever. Some are soulmates, they come and they go. Some are the destiny helpers where they help you grow from one point to another. I don't know what I would have done if I wasn't with my ex-husband at the time, but he's the one person that got me from one point to another. I have nothing personal against him. I still care about him. He's the father of my children. But would we ever have a relationship? Absolutely not. But we can co-parent and we can live together and live, coexist, basically, not necessarily live together in one house. But I can never be in a relationship again with him. I don't see a marriage between us again. um, but you know what? It's life at the end of the day. Never say never, but I'm standing with where I'm standing right now. So that's the reasons why I left my marriage. Please do research on yourself, check on yourself, understand yourself, know what is it that you need in life, what you want in life, who you are. Because who you are really does come through in relationships, and it shows up in relationships. Those broken parts of yourself, your inner child, shows up more in romantic relationships. So I hope you heal. I hope you find yourself. I'm sending love and light. I'll see you on the next episode.